This is a short video on the different ways to write multiplication and the different ways you can possibly see them in your problems. So this video should hopefully clear up the confusions when you're dealing multiplication with addition and subtraction. So the first thing we need to know, there are 4 ways that we can indicate multiplication. The traditional sign, this little X symbol here meaning times or multiply. So we can say 4 times 2 or 4 multiplied by 2, which we know is 8. We have this solid dot, 3 times 5 is going to be equal to 15. This also indicates multiplication. And another way to write it is to use parentheses or brackets. 2 numbers sitting next to each other, 1 in bracket or 2 in brackets, it doesn't matter. Both of these indicate multiplications. So 6 times 5 is 30 or 3 times negative 6 is negative 18. Since 3 is really positive 3 and a positive times a negative is a negative 18. And finally, if you put the number next to the letter, it will mean multiply. So 5x means 5 times x. Since the x look like the multiplication symbol, that can be very confusing. So in algebra, we don't use the multiply symbol between numbers and letters. So these are all multiplication symbols. The important thing to remember is that if there is no addition or subtraction in between the numbers, then the operation is multiplication. Now let's take a look at some more complicated. We can see from this example that we include some addition and subtraction signs, and we have some numbers that are multiplied together. In mathematics, there is an order that do multiply before add and subtract. To more details on that, watch order of operations video. So here first, what you do is multiply the numbers wherever you can before add and subtract. So I am going to mark the numbers wherever I can multiply. So here we have 8 and then negative 6 times 2. So we know this is going to be multiplication here. Then we have positive 5 times negative 1. This is going to be multiplication. And then we have negative 7 times negative 3. This is also going to be a multiplication. As you can see now, we have marked the numbers, we have indicated the multiplication. Let's start simplify now. Always go from left to right. So I'm gonna write 8 as it is. Because I should not subtract this with 6 before multiplication process over. Okay, then negative 6 times 2 is negative 12. Since a negative times a positive is a negative and a 6 times 2 is 12. And likewise, 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. Then we have negative 7 times negative 3 is positive 21. Since a negative times a negative is a positive and 7 times 3 is 21. Now at this point, we can add all of our positive numbers together and then add all of our negative numbers together and get our final result. So here positive numbers we have 8 and 21. Since a number has no sign, it usually means that it is a positive number. Just 8 is really positive 8. So I write 8 plus 21 here. Then negative numbers are negative 12 and negative 5. So we have 8 plus 21 is 29. And negative 12 negative 5 is negative 17. Therefore, 29 minus 17 is 12. Now let's look at our second example here. Firstly, we are going to again mark our multiplication. So here we have 3 times 2 indicated with a solid dot. So we know this is going to be multiplication here. Then we have negative 5 times 7 indicated with the traditional sign. So this is going to be a multiplication. and then we have a minus 4. Then a plus 6 times 2. So again multiplication here. As you can see now, we have marked the numbers, we have indicated the multiplication. Let's start simplify now. Remember, always go from left to right. So 3 times 2 gives us 6. Then negative 5 times 7 gives us negative 35. Since a negative times a positive is a negative and 5 times 7 is 35. And I'm gonna copy minus 4 which I didn't use. Then we have plus 6 times 2 gives us plus 12. Now we can do the same thing we did it before. We add up all of our positive numbers and then add up all of our negative numbers. Or we can just do the addition and subtraction together moving from left to right. So 6 minus 35 is minus 29. That minus 29 minus 4 is minus 33. And that minus 33 plus 12 is minus 21. That's it. Summary. To put your new knowledge into practice, try the your turn questions below.